Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in to Leah's Love. I am thrilled and honored to be here with you. It's my favorite time of the week, which is hanging out with you all talking about the mystical. So we're going to do another oracle card pull this week, piggybacking on what we did last week in regards to tapping into the celestial energy. But before we get too deep into things, I did want to remind you that I will be doing these weekly free oracle card pulls where I'm giving you guidance for the week every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern US on YouTube. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Leah's Love, Lia''S Love, you will get a notification every time I post this video so that you're ready for the week. I cannot promise that I will get these up as quickly on the other channels, but if you are tuned in to me and subscribed on YouTube, I can promise that you will get these right on time to get you ready for your week. So let's go ahead and get on into the reading. All right, so like I said, we are going to be working with celestial energy this week, and kind of in the spirit of October and Halloween coming up, we have a new moon that's coming up on the 16th, which is all about manifestation. And without getting too into the science or like the metaphysical, witchy, or whatever things about it, I did want to note a couple of things about moon energy, right? Like, we all know that the moon controls so much of our lives. The tides, women's menstrual cycles, like a ton of things, right? So denying our connection with the celestial bodies and our universe is just silly. And working with them, if you understand how they work, and working with them can be really a huge asset to how you function throughout your life and your months. So that's what we're going to be doing. And like I said, in the spirit of Halloween, with all the talk of magic and, what we call miracles, they're really just things that we don't understand. So we give them these kind of, big terms that mean we just don't understand them. But science is starting to catch up with how these things work, and really it has to do with the power of our thoughts. If anybody's interested, hit me up down in the comments and ask me for references. I'm happy to give you some references of neuroscientists and quantum physicists who do quite a bit of work on the science of how these things work. But anyway, for our purposes today, we're going to purely be talking about the cards and what I pulled in order for us to create the manifestations that we're thinking about. Now, because we're novice at this, it's really important that we start off with something small, something that we don't have a tremendous amount of doubt in, right? Because our beliefs basically are the foundation of everything that we do. So we want this to be something that isn't too big that we believe it's not possible of happening. It's something that we want to manifest, that we've maybe been thinking about and we desire, and we know deep down inside it is possible, right? So I want you just to take a minute, pause the video if you need to, grab some pen and paper, and think about one little thing that you'd really like to create over the next month. Got it? All right, let's get into the reading. So I pulled 3 cards, and I asked about what we can do to help bring this manifestation into fruition. So the first card I pulled was, what clarity do we need to understand? The second card I pulled was on how do we need to prepare ourselves? And the third card I pulled was on what action do we need to take? Okay, so the first card I pulled in regards to what clarity do we need to understand, and I got blessed and protection. And that really kind of is acknowledging that this one thing that we paused and we thought about, that we're thinking about throughout this reading, this thing that we want to manifest, has been something that actually has been in the back of our mind for quite some time. And it's spirit's kind of like wink and nod, like, I know you wanted this for a really long time, and I got you. I know it hasn't been happening. This thing that we've wanted feels like it's been eluding us. It's been like tugging at our heartstrings, and it just kind of like, it just never really comes. And it's spirit being like, listen, I know you wanted this for a really long time, but it has not been able to happen in the way that I need it for you to happen. Spirit's saying this, the way that Spirit wants it to happen for us, right? And so the appearance of this card is really encouraging us to surrender, right? Because we're kind of at odds with how we feel about the fact that this has not been manifesting in the way that we hoped. And so surrendering is really, really important, and understanding and knowing deep down that this is happening, just not in the way and in the timing that we had initially thought or hoped for, but that it's coming, okay? And then the second card that I pulled in regards to how do we prepare ourselves was new life. And that really encourages us to be open to the new ideas that are coming to us, right? And so in order to prepare ourselves, it's a really good idea to focus on how we get our new ideas. What are we doing when we get our new ideas? Are we taking long showers? Are we listening to our favorite playlist? Are we talking to our dear friend? Is it when we're painting or we're drawing? Is it when we're sitting under the stars or, sunbathing? Whatever it is, that little thing or those things that we do that help us get our new ideas, going for a walk, do those things. And those new ideas that come to us during those times, that's going to be the guidance that's going to get us in the right space, mental, physical space, all of the spaces, to allow this new manifestation to come into our lives. Another intuitive hit that I got when I pulled this card is that also it's really important for us to make space for these things in our lives, right? So an example of, let's say, for instance, my desire or what I'm thinking about for this manifestation is a new job. Now, I wouldn't necessarily use this as an example for what you should be doing, because we're thinking about something small and a job is pretty big, right? But let's say I want to manifest a new job, and instead of, and I'm still applying for jobs, right? Instead of getting up every morning and doing what I normally do in whatever time frame, because I'm not working and I'm looking for a new job or whatever, I should start acting as if. I should start getting up at the time that I would get up if I had this new great job that I wanted, start getting to, shaking a shower, having my breakfast, getting dressed, whatever routine that I would have with this new job, start doing. And so the appearance of new life in regards to how we prepare ourselves is really encouraging us to start acting as if we already have those things. Now, one really important thing to remember is that we're not only physically acting as if, that we're also emotionally and mentally acting as if. And this can feel a little weird if it's something that we haven't really done before, we're not used to. It's also something that, if we share with other people, we can feel like we'll be judged for, like if I, for instance, didn't have this job and I'm acting as if I have a job, my, roommate might be like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting up? You're not going anywhere. And you gotta put that to the wayside. You gotta act a little crazy. You gotta be willing to just, go for it. And not worry about what other people are thinking or what it looks like to the world, and just embrace the sensation of how good it feels to have achieved and live in what it is that you truly desire. How you feel and what you believe is of the utmost importance above anything else. So acting as if and getting into that routine will really help us prepare and make the space in our lives for this new manifestation to come to fruition. Okay, and then the last question that I had was, what action do we need to take? And the card that I pulled was Between Worlds and Protection. And when I pulled that card, I really just got the intuitive hit of us focusing on looking forward. Between Worlds really speaks to the idea, when it's regular, when it's in its not in protection, it really speaks to the idea of us not being quite done with something but moving on to something else. When it's in protection, it's about us recognizing that things aren't gonna happen the way we intended, and that's not to say that they won't happen, right? Like, what we want to manifest is not gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen according to the plans that we're setting. And so my guidance, my intuitive guidance to us all in getting this is that instead we should be focusing forward. So instead of focusing on what's happened in the past and looking backwards, we need to keep our eye on the prize. We need to look forward, be in that glory of what we're trying to achieve physically, emotionally, create it as much as we can in our mental and emotional world, and look forward towards the prize that will really help us get to achieving what it is that we really desire. And now to bring it completely all the way around on top of the reading, like I said, we're working with this new moon energy that's coming on the 16th. Now, about the moon energy, it actually, when we have big moons, the energy of the moon itself happens 2 or 3 days before and after the actual event. So if for whatever reason on the 16th you don't have time to do this, you can do it a day, before or after. It doesn't really matter. But around or on the 16th, I would strongly encourage you taking a little bit of quiet time, go to a space that's quiet and that you cannot be bothered, where you're peaceful and calm. Maybe take a couple of deep breaths, sit in the quiet for 5 minutes or so, and really think about what this new thing is that you'd like to manifest. Get some pen and paper, write down exactly what you want, all the details, as much detail as you could possibly think of. Write down all that you wanted to manifest, and let's keep it to one little thing for this first go at it, right? And then you're going to take this guidance that I've given you and utilize this guidance in order to bring it into fruition over the next month. Now, over the next month until the next full moon, you're going to take that exercise that you did, that writing that you did on the 16th, and read it as often as possible. And then we're going to do something with it when the full moon comes. We'll talk about that later, but just focus on the visualization, the energy of that thing that you really want to manifest in this next month, okay? So I hope you guys all enjoyed this guidance. This is gonna be one of those videos that we come back around to in a couple of weeks, or a few weeks rather, to talk about how we're doing on our manifestations. If you have questions or you wanna share thoughts and feelings about what we talked about today, hit me up in the comments below. I will be excited and honored to be able to talk to you about all that stuff. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this reading. I hope everyone has an amazing week. I'm wishing you the best and so much luck in your manifestations this week. I can't wait to hear all about them. I'm sending you all the love. Have a great one. Bye.